welcome to the stream. Getting things ready, just doing an audio check. When I listened back to the last stream, it was a little bit unbalanced. So I'm trying to make it so that y'all can both hear me and enjoy the music. So I'm gonna boost the voice like this a bit. That, see if the voice, and that's better. I'm just talking to myself for a couple minutes. Okay, music seems to be a bit loud, so let's drop the music. Let's see if this is better. Is this any better? Is this a good level for the voice? Good level for the voice, good level for the music. Dropping music even more. Dropping music even more. How about like this? Voice here, music there. So music is hitting at about negative 35 dB, and voice is hitting at about negative 15, negative 10 to 15. Why is Twitch not getting any output? Twitch is running, but there's no signal. Twitch, why? Alright, there goes Twitch. Maybe that was just a glitch on my side. Okay, one last thing I'm gonna raise. Alright, music at negative 21. Yeah, and about negative 30. Alright, I think we're probably fine, so I'm just going to start going. And again, today's stream is... Last time we worked on nailing down this kind of the Sonic art style. And we drew Shadow, Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic. And now we're gonna go back to the actual animation. I'm just gonna save this as a new version. Just call this version 3. And while there's still some timing that needs to be adjusted, I'm pretty happy with that. So we're just going to duplicate this layer. And then we're going to lock this one. Moved. Put it below it. Yeah, so let's do that. And we're gonna call this animatic cleanup. So we're just going to go back and we're just going to work on shadow. We're just going to work on shadow, and we're going to start making shadow look like shadow. So I want to put a transparency on this layer, and let's just bring that up to maybe like 80. We'll eventually get back to the bike. I was working on the bike design the other day, but I want to make sure that the characters are looking good first before anything else. Let's just, maybe we'll go back to this frame up here, which is a good place for Shadow's head and his body. Because again, this is pretty loose, and we want his head to be looking good, we want his body, and we want the larger gloves and the larger boots that he's gonna have. Why is my color palette all wrong? Where have all my colors gone? It usually has like a whole... Did it just remove? Oh, it's under this. Not sure what default rec is. We're just going to remove that one. Alright, it was because it was in this. There we go. Now we're good to go. And again, this isn't going to be like the final cleanups. What is this here? Not you. Oh, I just put the keyframe on the frame that I was on. Doesn't matter, I just need it to be at the beginning. So let's just bring this up. And we're just gonna work on this. I realized that I actually need to have this here, because the transparency doesn't need to be on this. This is what we're going to be working on. So I did this foolishly. Call this Final Animatic 4 cleanup. And this is the one that needs to have that. So let's insert the transparency. Let's make this 190. Alright, there we go. Now we want to lock that one in place, because I forget that the thing that we're doing... Hi Ava! Hi Ava, welcome back. It's good to see you again too. Been a bit of a week. Just feeling a little sick the last couple of days, so I needed a few days to recover before jumping back into things. So whether you all can see this or not, there's this little button right here that creates empty drawings. And there's a thing that I wasn't realizing last time that Toon Boom Harmony does, where much like Flash animation, you can create. In Flash animation, it would be symbols, and the symbols you can basically do like mouth charts and have lip sync, and you can do animations inside of other animations, like for walk cycles. Toon Boom Harmony has the same thing, but it's a little bit more complex. And what I was getting wrong was that if you see up here in this top right, this whole bar has a whole bunch of different drawings. So whenever you make a new drawing, if things are too similar, it'll try to helpfully select a drawing from this huge list. But since we're cleaning things up, whenever I work on a new drawing, I want to make this entire set of frames here be empty, so that this will be a new one, and you'll see that this changed to white. And so now, when we're drawing again, my palette changed. Need to be on Shadows palette. And let's actually thicken this line up a bit. So yeah. And again, we know it's actually a bit too thick for now. But just showing like what I'm getting at there. Is that you can see up here on the top right, it's creating a new drawing. So for each one of these frames, I'm just gonna go back, and every time I work on a new frame, I just need to hit this so that it will create a new drawing substitution, is what they call it in here. In Flash, you would call it a symbol. But you have to be careful about that because it'll easily get messy. But now that I'm more aware of it, it's fine. But I wasn't aware of it previously. I was still fairly new to Harmony. And a lot of people use Harmony with puppet animation, and I'm debated. I think this is still just going to be mostly hand-drawn, but if I need to use a puppet or build a puppet for maybe the motorcycle, I might do that. Because again, you can come up here, create a new thing, and you can have, like the motorbike, Shadow's motorbike only has maybe six different angles, and you can just have it so it's just 6 different drawings here, and instead of having to redraw it if I ever needed to grab the bike again to put it in the background or a different frame. But yeah. I think this is a little bit too thick. So again. I just want to make sure that I have my reference available. From where I was drawing it last time. Because I have a couple different monitors, so it's not easy to show you all exactly what I'm seeing and looking at, but It's little things like when Shadow's cheek kind of goes over that bottom bit of the eye. And I'm not sure how long the stream will go for today, but I'm just feeling less sick and I wanted to get back into it. And in this one, yeah. I also want to make sure the one big thing is that we want the large pupils that the Sonic style is known for. Because when I was doing the roughs, I kept the pupils pretty small, just to make sure that the expression was accurate. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take away these. Still a rough drawing, but keeping things more accurate. Because again, like in the previous, I had all his quills going way farther up than they typically are. Quills, spines, whichever you want to call it. For the body, it's going to be more of an upshot, so I'm not as worried about showing the neck. A lot of the Sonic characters just don't show that part of their neck. But I definitely want the arms to be thicker. And then again, when he comes up, yeah, so he flies up this way. I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and just do what I said and remove the frames here so that I don't get confused. So we're just going to go ahead and blank out all these frames in this row that we're working on. And you notice down at the bottom, I've also marked in which backgrounds, how many backgrounds total, which I think it's 6. I think for this, I think I want that left eye. I think I want that far eye to be down and this one to be closer. Maybe bring this eye here up a little bit. And both Shadow and Sonic kind of have this, like, upturned nose. We'll just work through things as we go. And so over here, we're going to be seeing the bottom part of the glove. And I was thinking about how the legs and the boot and his shoes are going to work. So for this, we're going to be seeing a bit of the top side of the shoe. Again, there's a couple different parts of the boot there. And maybe something more like that. And this one will be the same way. We'll just angle it just a little bit different. So it's not exactly the same. Fix that in a moment. Yeah, a little bit of taper in the legs as it's going down, thinner towards the body. And then this will be in front. And maybe this arm will be a bit more like that. Let me do this so I can keep an eye on both the Twitch chat and the YouTube chat. Yeah. And again, big gloves, big boots. And let's actually... Again, this is the next step towards getting polish. So let's start doing this as well. And let's just start putting things in. There is that really nice production still that they had from the... When they first previewed Shadow's look for the movie, they had that really nice close-up of his feet. I'm going to... is that right? Yeah, I'm going to toss that up on the screen for you all to see what I'm looking at, because I really like... It really shows nice detail on the shoe. Browse. this right here. Yeah, so you all can see what I'm seeing. They had this promo art of his shoe when they first revealed things. Shows his gloves pretty good too. But at the moment, just working on the boot. Might actually do a little bit on the side here, and then sometimes if I think my way through it on the other side, like outside of the drawing, sometimes it helps a bit. Yeah, and so his foot will be coming in like that. This way. Because those rings are pretty thin. And then that kind of material that comes out of it, kind of like the inner layer of that sock. I'm actually going to pull up another reference. I'm going to see if there's any better angles. Movie shadows. Yeah, because the movie hasn't come out on digital yet, so reference is still a little skimpy on what the internet has to go by, other than like camera recordings and such. Yeah. Kind of back like that. Still not quite the angle I'm wanting to go for, though. that goes down the back. Actually, it's more like this, honestly. So if we go back to this one, let's bring this back a little bit. And we want to show a bit of that wraparound that's going around the back of the boot. I think that ring actually needs to be a bit more like that. Don't mind me if I get overly quiet. It just means my thinker is going. And again, the goal right now is not to have everything perfect. It's just to get things much closer to where they should be. So it is all a process. And that is a bad habit of mine that I get stuck in. I want to fix one particular thing and then I get too caught up in the wrong things. Let's move this over a bit. And we'll take that out. We'll just switch this leg. Like that. And yeah, we'll do this. Yeah, I think that'll be better for now. I really don't I really don't like. I did that for a study. I'm not crazy about how it looked. And again, we're not going to focus too much on the hands. We're just going to give a little bit there. And again, we're going to be seeing the bottom side of the ring. And at the same time, not that. He has the same thing going on with his wrists. Let's just turn that a little bit. this side. And we'll just kind of do one of these. I forget. Does movie... I feel a little dumb. Okay, movie shadow. Yeah. Cartoon characters, you have to be careful. It is 4 fingers on the... It is 4 fingers in the glove. 4 fingers and a thumb. Can never be too careful with cartoon characters. It's that one thing that you never think about until you're actually doing it, and it's like, well, some characters that you would be absolutely sure had 5 fingers, and then you go to look at the artwork for real, and it turns out that they only had 4. That is creating a tangent that I don't like. So let's just make sure that that tangent is not there. And then again, let's just turn these just a little bit. And that's going to be doing the same thing, so let's just avoid that tangent. Don't need that. Let's give a bit more spike, a bit more edge. Shadow the Hedgehog. And I'm going to bring these back in a bit. And let's give him his corner bits on his eye. Inner part of that ear, and then of course his big one up top. And his expression is going to be kind of neutral on this. And so now that we have that, kind of as our keyframe for the moment, we'll go back and add in the surrounding frames. And how many scenes we'll get through today, we'll just have to see. I think we'll probably, at the very least, go through these. We could do the close-up, but we don't have to. We don't have to worry about that too much, since that will just be zoomed in on the same drawing. It'll be the same as this. And again, I'm just clearing out the frames in this layer so that we can have a fresh drawing to work with. Why is there an extra frame there? Did I do that by accident? Yeah, I must have done that by accident. And again, there'll be a few more cleanup passes after this, so let's take what we've done here. Now for this one, we want his eyes to still be closed. He's in the process of opening his eyes. And I don't know that we have all that much reference in the movie for what his eyelids are. But let's bring the brow down just a little bit. You know what, the more I look at this ear, I'm not crazy about it. I think that ear needs to be more out that way. Same with this one. We're gonna do it like that. And then that way his head spike will tuck in nice and neat back behind there. Something more polished for later. But yeah, there you can see copy this back to the other frame. But you can see the eye opening pretty well right there. But to me, this is the fun part of animation, when you get to see. I think we're actually going to bring his head down a little bit. Yeah, and we'll squash the rest of the head a little bit as well. You can't just squash one part of it. Gotta get a little bit of everything so that it actually looks like he's coming to his senses. He's taking a breath. And since I know in the next frame he will be leaning forward a bit, I think we're gonna add a little bit of this. Yeah. So he's popping awake. So now let's take care of so the body is tilted forward just a little bit. So let's just start at the top and work our way down. So we want the torso to be tilted just a little bit. Move my pivot point back, that's fine. Yeah, because he's coming up this way. and then settling back down that way. So it's kind of like this. And then he will settle back down that way. So that's kind of like the timing of it. And here. See, this is where you could do things with a puppet. And there's a small chance I might consider doing him as a puppet. But I also want to have, I also really enjoy and I want to have that full control. Why does it keep moving my pivot point? Full control over all the pieces. Like if I want to change something the way I want to change it, not the way that the program allows me, which is a lot of my issue with Flash animation. I know it's gotten better over the years, but that is one of my gripes. And I know that with shows like Teen Titans Go, they've really taken that to the extreme of showing what Flash animation is really capable of. So for here, his arm is going to be farther back. I'll make sure I'm not covering the things up. We're done looking at the boots. Let's just turn the... Yeah, we don't need to see the boots on the screen for right now. But yeah, now we're gonna need to do the turn on the feet. So let's just take our boots and put them aside for the moment. We'll get them from the other angle in a minute. And like I was saying before, this is my favorite part of animation, and also storyboarding in general, where just a few frames really makes things come to life. And for me, that's what I love about classical animation. Whereas I may not be the best artist. I'm working on it. I'm getting there, I think. I like to think anyway. But when you do a few frames side by side and you really get them going, and you see that movement, and you see your few frames kind of come to life side by side. It really is a special feeling for me, at least. We may not keep it this way. I'll probably just end up redrawing that in the correct angle. Let's just get the feet in position, the legs in position first. And again, when I originally drew it, things were not necessarily in proportion to the design, which is why we took the last stream to work on the Sonic design. So that leg is going to be behind, this leg's going to be in front. So let's try to do it like this. Just a little bit of curve there at the bottom. And then again, for here. Yeah, I'm going to try to prevent myself from getting too caught up on things that I don't need to be focused on. So let's just whip that out there. We've got the ring. And then we've kind of got that there. It's kind of coming back this way. I don't like that angle. Yeah. It's kind of like this. We'll judge our proportions as we go. Let's just keep things there. And the boot. And around the back. We know the little rocket bolt is in there. That little rocket spot is there somewhere. But again. Yeah, not quite the right angle. Not crazy about the that part of the shoe that's coming out like that. We'll work on that later. Just want to make sure that the proportions of the shoe first and foremost are feeling good, and then we'll worry about fine-tuning things on the next pass. Yeah, still could be a bit longer. It is in the distance, but sometimes I think the other thing is that leg could be a bit extended. I gave it quite a bit of an angle in the rough drawing, but it doesn't have to be. I'm not forever stuck to how that's going. Keep doing that with that ring. I keep trying to draw the ring in an angle that doesn't work right. Maybe something more like that. That's looking a lot better, I think. He's dancing. He's dancing. Shadow needs more joy in his life. I heard somebody the other day mentioning that. The concept of Shadow basically not being able to go through his 5 stages of grief because of losing Ava, and then instantly being put in stasis. And in some cases I can see where that's like a bit obvious, but at the same time, like when you really stop to think about it, it's like maybe you've lost a pet, maybe you've lost a relative, and just how much, or just just feeling sad in general. And how much time and effort is actually needed, for us as humans us as people to come to grips with those things. And then if you put that in the context of Shadow in the movie, he just doesn't. He's quite literally given no time to process anything mentally. He's just kind of thrown in there into a situation that's beyond his control, and then it's taken away, and he's just frozen in time like a time capsule. How crazy that must actually be to experience, or be put in that thing. And like in the movie, it's Shadow and Sonic being pretty similar in a lot of ways, but the fact that Sonic had the trauma of losing family from where he came from, but he also didn't show up in a military facility where everybody just wanted to treat him as a science experiment. Well, you asked the question. It's like, well, you wonder why there's trust issues. Like, well, you don't treat me as, when you don't treat something as real and like it has feelings and has emotions, as like a pet or an experiment. Not even as a pet. You just have a lot of conflicting thoughts and things. So how do we want to do this? How do we want to do this hand? It's actually flipped over, isn't it? I think I'm doing this the wrong way. We'd be seeing the glove, we'd be seeing his thumb from this side. And then, yeah, it'd be like this. So his hands have a bit of that overlapping action. As they're coming down, and the fingers are coming this way, and then they slowly come to rest like that. So the fingertips dragging behind the hand. And then let's do a little bit on this side as well. And we do want to make sure that the fingers are splayed just a little bit. They're not evenly spaced. One thing is bugging me though. I just want to check. You know, one thing bugging me just a little bit is I think I have the body and the head a bit offset. I want to bring it back this way. And just make sure that that cheek is defined the way I want. Same with this one. I think I have the body a bit too far to the left. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then just clean up that cheek and that chin. Yeah, I think the cheek got a little bit out of control there. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think this one on this side, if that cheek is really like that, then this one there's kind of like a pinch in the cheek, and the eye does not necessarily come all the way over. I'm just looking at, I'm going to pull this one up again. Which one is, I think it's this one. So again, I'm looking at this. I'm just looking at the face there. Why is there a little bit of... Yeah, we'll have to come back to that. There's a little discrepancy in the cheek there, but again, we're going from these really sketchy drawings, like things like this, which is really out of proportion, and turning that into something more manageable. YouTube not receiving enough video to maintain streaming. Why? Why YouTube? Why you do this? Have I not given you everything you could have asked for, YouTube? There is quite a blizzard snowstorm going on right now, so it's possible that I'm just gonna have to ignore it. If you all tell me that the stream is unwatchable, let me know. Yeah, now that I fixed the cheek on that side, I can definitely see it here. But yeah. We'll come back to those. These are mostly the same, so let's just take care of those real quick, because this is not a completely different drawing. This is just mostly movement of the arms and the legs and the body. So put him up here a little bit. Thing here was just that the legs and the arms were at their widest point, and then slowly coming back down. That might be too much. We'll see. We shall see. The body will be mostly in the same place, but the arms and such will change. Oops. Yeah, body is its highest body at the highest point here. Body at its highest point here. Drops a little bit. And a little bit more. Yeah. So up. And then the settle. Oops. I think we're gonna move him up just a hair. Rotate that just a little bit. There we go. And actually, this could come down just a hair as well now that we're looking at it. Hair forward. Okay. And so this one, the hands will be a little different, but mostly the same. So again, we want to come up just a hair. Hand will be covering that quill. Let's just do that. Same with this side. Re-add these in later. You just don't want to create a tangent with the end of that quill there. Leave enough room for the silhouette. And then we'll just put this like that. You know what? I think we'll pull this out just a hair. Just for the sake of consistency at the moment. might see a little bit of this one here. But the one thing that I want to change on the hands for this is I want the hands to start in their most upright position. And again, if the hands are not great at the moment, that's fine. Because again, it's coming from this condensed pose to this outstretched pose. And here, same thing. You might even see a little bit of that palm, maybe just a hair. All depends on how it looks. Maybe not. Maybe not the palm. Because he's supposed to be coming in and then pushing out with both arms to the side. And again, let's get those feet out there. Probably adjust the leg on this one. Yeah, I think we'll probably adjust that leg a bit. And there might be one extra in between. There might be an extra in between needed between these two frames, but I'm not too worried about it. Because again, with the smooth action, it should hopefully correct itself. Yeah, I'm actually thinking, now that I see it, that these can actually go down a bit more. Now that I'm starting to see it in action, I think these hands could come a bit more. And I might add a bit more overlapping action to this. To this side. Those hands, the hand on this side is getting a little big and out of control. Let's bring that back down. I'm just comparing it. I'm comparing it to this, and maybe this hand is shortened up a bit. getting a little bit crazy proportion-wise. So let's bring those back in. Hey Ray, good to see you. How is it going this fine weekend? It's a Friday, not a weekend. It's a weekend if you want to be. Yeah, so let's bring this one hand down a little bit. And then we'll move on to... I want to get these frames nailed down. Yeah, I think the hand is more in proportion now. This one could be just a hair bigger. And turn that way. Yeah, I'm chilling too. It's but in a different way. It's I think tomorrow it's down to -20 around here. Good old Minnesota. Good old icy Minnesota. Yeah, I'll pull back on the frame so that you can take a look. Oops. But yeah, kind of been cleaning up these frames here, so it's a little slow going, but we're getting that animation. But yeah, working on these frames, and then I'm gonna go back because these kind of noodly frames over here where it was more drawn for the movement. But now I need to actually go in and nail down how these poses here are gonna look now that we're actually working with the character on model. So probably not going to tighten these up as much as the others right now because there's more thinking to be done, but yeah. You definitely want the proportions of the boots and the body because again, the hands in the original sketch are not to proportion at all. So, trying to get everything in proportion as we nail things down. Yeah, it gets really warm here in the summer and then really, really cold in the winter. And I think we're gonna get maybe about a week or so of -20 temperatures, and then it'll drift back up. But the real crazy thing is that yesterday it was 30 degrees, so it's like a 50-degree temperature shift. And that's mostly because of the winds that blow down from Canada. They bring in that really icy northern air, but it makes the temperature shift really drastically. But yeah, just thinking my way through how I want the body and the proportions of those extra large gloves to work around the body. So just if you've ever heard of the flour sack principle in animation, you know, essentially you have your flour sack kind of, you know, you have your flour sack. In animation, they always say that you always have one smooth side, and then whatever your bend is, you know, it goes the other way. So that you know that the flour sack is doing this. Kind of like that, but with this particular pose, because Shadow's arms, well, the way I drew it anyway, it's kind of like it's just creative decisions that I put on myself, and it'll just kind of be changed up and however it goes. And again, just double check. Yeah, so in here, I want him to be coming in and looking up. And that'll be the same for there. So for here, he's gonna be looking. It's gonna be more of a down. Is what I was checking. And I hadn't fully. Decided. Actually, you know what would be a good reference for this, now that I think about it? It's a little bit of a wild drawing, but I'm gonna pull this up. It just came to me. This exact pose is very similar to the Sonic Spinball cover art pose. Well, no, in that one he's running. It's not the cover art, but it's the other thing. But even there, even in that pose, they really cheated the body, and his hands are in kind of a weird position. Wow, there's a really weird Russian artwork of Sonic Spinball that actually looks like they colored in black, so it looks like Shadow. That's really crazy. Here, I'll show you all what I mean. Where is that? Look at, look at that right there. Look at this. Look at this Russian artwork for Sonic Spinball. And either the camera didn't capture the color properly or something, but it really does kind of look like Shadow in a weird way. That's kind of wild. But the pose I was looking at was, or the one that had come to mind was this. There was this pose that had come to mind, but that's not really. That's even more extreme than just what I'm trying to have Shadow doing. Plus, Sonic's arms are kind of in a real crazy. Like they really warped him. He's like doubled over on himself. There is a kitty cat under my feet. Don't lay on that, please. You can lay under there. You can lay under there. Just lay on my feet, not on the power strip. My kitty decided to wake up, and he's making himself comfortable around my feet. He wants to go outside, but he forgets that the wind and the icy cold are out there. So let's maybe try to work backwards. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's do this. Not even worried about the upturn of the shoe for now. Let's just focus on the shoe itself. And let's get the body. Let's get the body lined in. So he's going to be coming in this way. And this is actually going to be farther in than I would expect. Stop that. Yeah, I think that's what's throwing myself off. I'm psyching myself out by trying to put the leg in a place where it can't actually be. Yeah, because he will have to be there. Which means this will be like this. Whoops. Yeah, and then we'll kind of define that with his thing there. Hi, Jessica Hart. How's it going this fine weekend? This pose is really going to be a pain to fix. What are you doing? Why are you on top of there? That's not a place you usually go. Since when do you like to sit on top of the computer case? Or is it because there's lots of heat coming out of there? Oh, Kitty just wants to... Kitty's finding all kinds of new places to lounge today, I guess. Let me move the microphone box so he doesn't bump it. Adult responsibilities. Yeah, don't I know it. Darn those darn that adulting. You can't live with it, you can't live without it. I think we might have to come back to this pose, or I'll work on it on my own a little later. Let's just see. Yeah, overall, he's gonna have to be a bit bigger. In general, whoops. So let's just bring him up just a bit. Because this will kind of be... It's going to be mostly the same pose as he comes up through this. And this is kind of the scene that we're working on, so... He's going to be mostly the same. This will be different. Because again, we might just do something like this. You know, we might just rough things in. And maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to stop thinking so hard on the things that are bugging me and just, you know, focus on the things that I know absolutely have to be fixed. I think like I said before, I think I psych myself out too much on certain things, and then I never get myself back to doing what it is that I actually need to do. Yeah, because look how deformed the body is there. That doesn't work. And when I did all these initially, it was more about getting the motion down rather than getting the drawing perfect, so that I could see the movement, show you all the movement. But now we're at the point where we need to focus on the proportions. So yeah, maybe I just need to be working on it from this angle instead of the other way. And the heads are always generally bigger. Maybe like this. Bit of triangle of fluff there. But yeah, this is kind of my favorite part of animation. That you start with stuff that's really rough and simple, like here, and then you gradually build it out, and it just kind of gets more exciting. It kind of gets more exciting the longer you go, because you really get to see and feel things come together as you work. And for me, I love that. That is one of the reasons I love animation. Let's bring that arm up a bit. And again, we'll get the quills and stuff later. I just want to try to get through a few of the scenes. At least get from this scene here. At least get to this whole scene where he jumps up and he does that. And that's what we were working on earlier. And yeah, this is where I wanted to make that bigger. So it actually feels like he's doing a thing. I think we're gonna stick with the thing of his eyes being closed for here. Because I brought his face down like this, and he's gonna be turning a little bit. So he's kind of at a 3/4 angle like that, and then he kind of turns to sort of face the camera a bit more. Yeah, so that nose line goes from, we put in the rest of the circle, kind of goes from here back to here. So the whole circle. And it moves a bit. You might still pull it even farther, though. I think this is too much of an angle right there. Let's just look at that and the onion skin. can mean that that is not accurate. But again, yeah. We're kind of on an upshot, so. The shoes are getting a little crazy. Let's just do this for the moment. Just do this for the moment. And let's just take this off the back. Yeah, because he is turning a bit. I do think, though, that this needs to come out a bit more. Like, if this is his chest, his arm would be connecting kind of like there. So there's kind of like his triangle of floof. I can't help it, Shadow. You may be a lean, mean fighting machine, but that doesn't mean you don't still have a... You don't have that kind of furry animal body. Which, in itself, is just inherently cute. And you just have to live with that. But then again, why shouldn't the ultimate life form not also be cute? In his own dark way. I think it actually needs to be down just a little bit. Yeah. So let's do a little bit more. So let's do this. I think I'm gonna do this, I think I'm going to take this one out and put this maybe about right there. Close. Oh, the onion skin is just really far. Let's turn this one here. A little bit back. How about like that? And then this is going to be the hold. And let's actually give just a little bit of squash. And when you do a little bit of squash, you do one way, you do a little bit of squash the other way to keep proportions. And then you hold this. And again, there might be an extra in between. There might be an extra in between to add between these two, but I think that's starting to get there. This, however, I can already tell is way too big. So let's see if we can connect these up and have ourselves a scene. Needs to be over just a hair. Each one needs to be over just a hair. Yeah, look at that. What do you all think of that? A little bit of squash. Pop. And the only reason I'm not drawing the quills or the spines right here is because I want to add some overlapping action on that. And I think we're at the 2-hour mark. So I might wrap this up here in a minute. Since these two frames are similar, let's go ahead and add the expression change at the end. So he leans forward a bit. And then he notices who's standing on the ground that he doesn't care for. Won't be in my animation, but you're a colorful bunch, he says in the movie. And that's kind of what my version is in reference to. Bit lower though. Even lower. We want to really know that let's emphasize this a bit more. Let's emphasize this a little bit more, and let's bring that neck, the whole head back just a hair. Yeah, like that. And then of course we can go for the close-up, which is the same frame, just zoomed in. We're gonna be way in on that face. We really want to get the full nature of Shadow's scowl, his disapproval at what he sees. Fill in that part of the eye there. Look at that. Let's cover up the edges there so it's a little easier to see. Yeah. And yeah, that front leg, let's just make that a little bit more clear. We could add Shadow and Sonic both do have spines on their back. I've debated on whether I'm going to actually add that into the animation or not. Just for complexity's sake. We'll see at the very end if I feel any different. Once even more polish is put on things. Yeah, that's going to be the body in front. And he's going to come up on screen with his back leg to us, his right leg, and then his front left leg will catch up once he reaches the peak of his jump. Tilts back, just starts tilting back just a little bit. What I might do, actually, is I think we'll add a little secondary action to this foot. Let's just do it for the whole shoe and the whole ankle to make it really noticeable that there is a change occurring. Yeah, and maybe we bring this one up a bit. Extend that boot a bit, and I'm getting more comfortable drawing the boots, shoes, boots, whichever. We're just kind of dealing with things as we go. Here we go. Actually, now that we're looking at the feet, I think let's add a little bit of secondary action on the shoes as well. Because when he's really thrusting out, you know, seeing something else that I'm just gonna change on the fly just to see how it looks. I'm gonna give these feet I think I see what's kind of bugging me a little bit. And that's a bit of my own fault for doing so, but it's fine. And whether we add something to the top of Shadow's boots to signify it, but I think I want that to be more of a front angle on this foot. Yeah, and now it looks like I broke the ankle. Yeah, definitely some more work to do on studying, just drawing shoes and drawing feet in general, but that's fine. Just one of those things, you know. Yeah, I'll probably still play with that pose a bit. With that shoe, still not crazy about it, but I think on the whole it's looking pretty good. let's bring this eye just a little bit closer in. So that's the scene we've been working on today. But, yeah, and I'll go back and add the kind of the overlapping action that I want to make sure that his spines have when he's coming through the air. Because, yeah, some of that's, you know what, let's just rough it in a little bit, just to see. Because it's gonna be in the wind a bit. And again, we still have ears and such to do. I think I do want to do a bit more on this before I call it done. I'm not crazy about the way that the cheek and everything are going together there. Just clean up his face kind of in this shot, and I think that'll kind of be where I'm calling it for today. Still make a couple decisions on exactly on about the couple decisions still to make on the ear, and there's a certain way that the head spine, the ear all connect. And again, some of that I might work on off stream, but I'm going to try not to have so much of a break between streams for this project. It was mostly just because I had gotten a little sick for a couple days and wasn't feeling my best when I need to be working on drawing. Sickness really sucks in that regard. Can really drain that creativity right out of you. I'm going to go over to this frame, and I'm going to copy that eye. Kind of like this. And then let's just do the same for the other side. Just take a little bit off the bottom there. There we go. Now our boy is coming together. Let's bring this eye back a bit. Just trying to keep a rough guide of how that head should be. And until I get these boots right, that's just gonna bug me. But again, that's something I'm not gonna bother you all with my endless struggles with drawing boots, shoes, and such. I'll just kind of correct that in my own time and then show you all the glorious results after the fact. So now that we have this here, let's number one, let's fix that shoe just a little bit better. Even if it's just a placeholder, let's try to make it not look there. That's a bit better. Whoa, buddy. Careful. You trying to jump down, or are you just trying to lay? You can't pull on that, bud. You can't pull on that. Right, you're getting down. So let's add, even if it's not perfect, I'm just going to add this back in here. This pose, and we're just going to remove the sketchy bit we did before. Here we go. I think I'll work on the spines a bit later, but I think for the moment, getting this scene done like this is pretty good. And without the underdrawing, without the sketch layer. Yeah, I think it's coming together really nicely. Alright everybody, I appreciate everybody who showed up. I appreciate interacting with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed kind of my work process. This is a bit slower going, but that's how animation goes. And if I later decide to make it into a puppet to make things nice and clean, this will only make this preliminary stuff will only make that go that much quicker. But thanks everybody for watching. I'm going to once again leave the Discord link in both YouTube and Twitch. And this is for Foxatronic Sunny Discord server. And we're just gonna send that to YouTube, and we're gonna send that to Twitch. And there's been a small trickle of people that have been coming in to check things out. We're really trying to turn things into a community this year, and this is both for the art channel as well as the gaming channel. So Foxatronic Arts is typically where I do all my art and my animation. And occasionally I'll do TV and cartoon reviews, and I have some other fun things planned for later this year. They're just kind of in development. Some interesting video ideas, maybe some special guests. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But there is also Foxatronic Gaming. You can find the link in the YouTube channel description. Both descriptions of both YouTube channels link to each other. You can find Foxatronic Arts or Foxatronic Gaming. There's been stuff happening on the gaming channel that's pretty fun. So be sure to check both of those out. There's lots of content coming, and there's more on the way. But that's it for now, and I'm going to have to see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate everybody. I will see you next time. Stay warm in this cold winter January season. Take care, everybody. See you next time.